behind me you can probably see my Range Rover has decided to lower itself. I've looked at the fault codes and it looks like it's the front left height sensor, so I'm going to replace that. It's just arrived, I've just finished work, it's about 5 o'clock, something like that. It's raining, don't want to be out here, so I'm going to try and get it done as quick as I can. I'm hoping I can just plug in the sensor and reset the code and it'll find roughly the right height, but I might have to recalibrate them. We'll see how it goes. Just in case you didn't get it on the last video, the lowered Range Rover. It's not a bad look, but it's not the one we're going for. Okay, I'll sped this up a bit for you. You'll know what it looks like to undo bolts. There's only 3 on this sensor on the front. The rears might be different, but I assume they're pretty similar. There's these 2 at the top on the bracket and the one that fits to the lower suspension arm there. Pretty straightforward. I didn't have to take the wheel off. It was a bit awkward reaching around the camera, but to be honest, it didn't take me long. I actually moved the camera out of the way to finish getting this one off. Okay, so I've got the new one and the old one. The new one comes loose, not on the bracket. So plan is to just figure out how they sit.
A few moments later.
No, that's not right. That is not right. I don't know if you guys watch Matt's Off-Road Recoveries, great YouTube channel, but he often says we do it right because we do it twice, and this is one of those occasions. Well, these didn't come with a new nut, so I'm going to get a new nut, I think, because I don't really want to put that old one on that shiny new bit. I'll be back in a sec. Man, this is so awkward. I really should have taken the wheel off as well. Would have made my life easier. But I'm stubborn. I want to get it done. I'm nearly there. So it's not happening. Okay, that's one started. Should get in there eventually. Right? It must be. I feel near the hole. There it is. That's better. Right, okay. So I'm just going to fit the bottom of that. I'm going to have to move the camera out of the way. That's the bottom of that arm. You can figure it out, it goes onto that lower arm. Right, well the weather's turned all a bit English on me, I don't know if you can see. It's proper raining. Luckily I've fitted that sensor, I did the last bit off camera, couldn't get my arm in there with the camera as well. So now I'm going to start the car up. Plug in, I've got this, which is a deep OBD tool. I'll try and find a link for you and put it on the description. Hopefully I'm just going to reset the suspension, and fingers crossed I don't need to do any calibration. If I do, I need my laptop, which involves being plugged in because the battery's dead on it, and I'm not doing that in this weather, so fingers crossed I don't end up with a wonky Range Rover in a second. Okay, so this is the Deep OBD app. It's designed for BMW, but because I've got a BMW based Range Rover, it also works. All I really use it for is reading errors and clearing them. So it connects via Bluetooth, it's done on my phone, really simple, a little bit slow sometimes, but
when you want to just clear faults on the go, it's fine. That error message always comes up and then it gives me the faults. So that is what it is. All I do is select all clear. You can see on there you've got the double axle air suspension faults. I tend to, if I really want to know what the issue is, I'll plug in my laptop and use my RSW All Comms software to get a better idea of what's going on. Really, I just use this for reading and clearing faults. It wasn't very expensive, it was like 30-40 quid. I'll put a link in the description, and you can get one if you want one.
Okay, so I reset the suspension, straight away it moved. Just going to see if it lifts now, it doesn't seem to be. I don't really want to get out, it's wet. Sometimes you have to restart the car a couple of times before it's happy. Let's just try that. So what should happen is the front and the back of the car should lift up. Sounds like it's trying.
As you might have guessed, it didn't move. So I had to get my laptop out, set it up, and use that to calibrate the suspension.
Right, okay, we've got the RSW All Comms software. See if it's going to play ball. This has been really good. It's on my absolutely ancient laptop. It does the job. Now what I do need to look at is the instructions for air suspension calibration. Let's give it a go. Change settings. Simple suspension calibration. I have just read the instructions. We are linked. Let's get current. So I want to do that first. I want to drop it and raise it before that. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to close it. I'm going to depressurize all of the suspension. Mainly because I want to start from a sensible position. See, we are moving up and down slightly. The rest of this on the steering wheel probably won't move again now. I can feel a bit of movement, but whether or not you can see it, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is going to give me a complete signal or not. So I guess we'll just wait. Okay, I think that's long enough. I don't think that's doing much. We'll close that now. The car then straight away tries to level itself off. Which is good. So go back to calibration, we'll open it, get current. So what happens if I change that? It's currently 337, I'm going to change to 400, which is quite a big change. Okay, that went straight up then, you see that? So, let's go and measure it. Right hand side, 435 I'll call that. Left hand side actually sitting about where I put it, so 40. So I'm going to make the left match the right, I think.
A few moments later.
Okay, so still high at the front. I'm going to bring this back down to where it was.
should make a big difference. Okay, that's lowered it a lot at the front. Let's go to...
Okay, that's actually pretty close now. What I'm going to do is close this and just try and get it on some flat ground, take it for a quick drive, see what it's like after that. Okay, so that's air suspension done. The front does look a bit high, but I've just bumped it over the curb and it does do some weird self-leveling stuff, and I haven't changed the right hand side, so it should be pretty good. Not looking too bad. I might find a drier day and try and get a bit more accurate with the calibration. You can see it's just leveling itself off there. But I'm happy enough. The left and right side were matching pretty much. Hopefully they still are. So that's another job done. See you in the next one.